What is up, YouTube? Bit of a different video today. I put out a tweet, I think it was on Tuesday or Monday, going over my Cut 26 review, the strengths and the weaknesses of the mode. Thought I'd make a video version of that and kind of elaborate on those points I made. Right, we're a few weeks into Cut 26. We kind of know how the mode is all going to work this year. And I want to kind of almost reach out and speak to maybe the development team a little bit, because I feel like at least the Cut team is probably a bit more responsive to feedback and faster to adjust and take action. Whereas the MUT team, it feels like for years we've just been talking into the void. So if we can take a few of these weaknesses of Cut 26 and maybe turn them into strengths, right, we could just make the overall mode better. If you want extended coverage of the market and how I make my coins, subscribe to the Coin Bible exclusively on coinbible.gg. Link in the description. And no, this may sound like a farewell video for Cut 26 as Madden is coming out next week. I just wanted to make this video. I've actually been enjoying Cut 26 quite a bit, and what it is, over these past few weeks, even though I would say social media and mainstream Ultimate Team community has been harping on this game a little bit, and we're not going to talk about gameplay in this because that's really opinion-based, and I could say drop picks are terrible, ags are terrible, errant passes, but people are gonna, counteract that and say, that's a positive because they want more realism within the gameplay. So we're gonna be simply talking about the Ultimate Team mode, the College 26 Ultimate Team game mode. Let's start off with the strengths of this mode, and I'm gonna try to keep these short as possible because otherwise I'll just talk for 20 minutes on one point. The first one being the simplicity of Cut 26, and we're gonna be comparing it to MUT, of course, a lot in this video, but MUT got away from the Ultimate Team game mode. Is simply put, you buy a card or you acquire cards, you put them in your lineup, and you play online and offline modes to acquire more rewards. And the best thing about Cut, or one of the best things about Cut, is the ability to just buy a card off the auction house, put them in your lineup, and yeah, you can apply one ability, if that, and you're ready to go. Whereas I feel like in Madden Ultimate Team, that process of just adding a card to your team has become so complicated with ability tokens and upgrade tokens and X-Factor tokens. You got to play this solo challenge to unlock this pack. Then you have to choose one of 3 boosts to unlock a certain discounted ability. It's just a bit too confusing, and they've overcomplicated like the base concepts of an Ultimate Team mode. Whereas I feel like Cut, where some people might find the simplicity a little bit boring, I think it's just an easier game mode to pick up on if you're brand new to playing, which I think is always a positive. Next up, we've got the amount of content that Cut 26 releases on a daily basis. This was one of the weaknesses at certain points of the year last year, but as of right now, we are getting at least 2 new cards in the game every single day of the week, and it will lead into another point in a little bit, but those 2 cards being added every day does feel like it's enough content. Like, just 2 cards maybe in MUT might not feel that special because you can't really engage in that content unless you're going to spend money, but at least in Cut, and we'll talk about it. And let's actually just lead into my next point. But again, content every single day of the week. My only complaint is we're getting a little bit iffy, right? Mainstays content today, we only had 2 champions. Just do 4 champions and an LTD, or 4 champions and 2 LTDs every single main content drop. If it's a volume 1, not a 0.5, there needs to be at least 4 champions. And on that point, Alumni is really my only complaint about the amount of content we've gotten so far. Alumni is Legends. It's one of the bigger drops of the week every single time. We need at least 4 to 6 champions plus an LTD. It's actually something we got in Cut 25 that I thought was a really big positive for the mode. Whereas in MUT, it's always been 2 champions, 1 LTD. Cut had it to where they were getting 6 champions and 2 LTDs every single Sunday. So bring that back. 2 champions is not enough for the Legends promo they're doing this year. But that next point and why content is engageable every single day, this is the main strong point of Cut 26. It is the rerolls, because the rerolls affect everything from the market, having fun, the replayability within the menus. I can't stress enough how important it is that every single content drop we get every day has a reroll, and a few different rerolls at that, because it gives us the ability to engage in the content every single day. It's something that MUT has struggled with for the past few years. They will show new champions, they will show new LTDs, and there is no way, unless I want to spend actual physical money and buy special offers, to pack those new players, especially the LTDs. And it is really, really cool to log on every morning and actually have a pack that is going to give me a good chance or opportunity to pull the new LTD that came out that day. It also, because of these Champion Plus level training packs they've introduced this year, they keep the prices of Champions and LTDs down. This was one of the strengths of Cut 25, but the ability to afford a team, and it's not going to cost you millions and millions and millions of coins, right? The average champion price, and we can just go to the mainstays content that dropped today, the new mainstays champions are 120k. I would say the average new champion price is probably 130 to 150k. The most expensive champions we've seen this year have been 300k, and if they're 300k, they're probably warrant the price because they're really, really good for their position. But a majority of champions are going to be under 150k, and you have the ability to pull the champions, of course, just from a simple training pack. And in the LTDs, I think the most expensive LTD we've had was AJ Green. He was like low 500s. Of course, this Travis Hunter came out today, and he's 900k, but eventually, as he's in packs for a whole week, he will probably get down to 500 and 600k. And that actually is another positive point, and it was something I initially didn't like this year, but LTDs being in packs for one whole week is really, really good for the rerolls because it gives you the ability and the opportunity to pull an LTD, and not just an all-season player, but an LTD from that promo at any point you open this pack. And there are times, right, arbitrage method that hasn't been seen in Madden in years. There might be certain days of the week where Fresh Faces is a really good reroll to open, even when it's not new content day, because the champions might be going for a bit more, and you still have the opportunity to pull an LTD. It keeps the LTD supply high, it keeps the LTD prices down, and just overall, this entire training reroll system for every promo keeps the player prices and LTD prices down, gives you a fun, engageable way to engage with the content on a day-to-day basis, even if you don't spend money. It is it's the foundation, in my opinion, of what makes Cut 26 and Cut as a whole unique and special, and it's night and day different from how Madden Ultimate Team operates on a pack and reroll basis. But now let's get into the weaknesses, and there are quite a few of them, and it's sad for me to say. The first one was supposed to be a strong point this year in Cut 26, and that is the offline mode rewards. And the best way I can describe the offline rewards is that it's almost like the Cut team, wants the offline player to be broke. That's the best way I can describe it. We can go and look at the solo season events, right? The study hall, you can play it one time per week. You get a 10-game series. If you win all 10 games, you get 50,000 coins. Solo seasons are repeatable, but the best reward is going to be 7 wins, and you get 2 field goal packs and a few coins. If we go to the events are essentially just going to be a bunch of games, cumulative rewards that get you BND level players. And if BNDs were able to go into sets, it'd be one thing, but BNDs get 1/4 of the training value, so you really are never going to have enough to open one of those special training champion packs. I don't know why, like, even if we go to these reward structures, transfer debut, for example, right, you need, I don't even know how many wins to get to level 10 at 40. I think it's 40 total wins. Dog, even if these were sellable rewards, they still wouldn't be worthwhile. The amount of time you have to put in to get these really, really poor BND rewards, again, it's like they want the offline player. If you don't touch head-to-head at all, and you only played offline, you would be broke. You would not have enough coins and not enough training to open the new rerolls, to afford the new cards. You would be stuck in Ultimate Team poverty. And I don't know why they're so stingy with offline rewards. I don't. Honestly, it's sad to say, the solo challenges are the best offline rewards because they don't take a lot of time. Now, I think they're, again, very uncreative. Like, really the only solo challenges we get now are 30 minutes for every single main content drop. And hey, I'll give them credit again. It takes like 30 minutes and you get a few different BND packs, whereas in the online or the solo events, you got to play for hours and you get 1 or 2 of them, right? At least solos, you only play 30 minutes, and another credit to EA, you at least can pull the champions and LTDs in these packs. But even if all these packs were sellable, they still wouldn't be good enough rewards. I was really disappointed we didn't see more unique individual solo challenge content, meaning like the tower. The tower isn't now, I guess it's tied to season 1, but it's like its individual unique solo challenge theme where you get a standalone champion for 3 to 4 hours of gameplay. I think we should be getting these 2 or 3 times a week, right? Where is the journey? Where are those individual unique solo challenge chains that give you packs that are sellable, that are fun to open, and good champion level players? I feel like they keep saying, hey, we care about the offline player. We're putting out more events and solo season challenges as ever, but the rewards are still brutal. They are still bad. They are still never going to get you out of that Ultimate Team poverty that it feels like it's almost designed for you to be in if you only play offline. The next point is similar to the offline reward structure, but it's more about the amount of stuff there is to do, and that is the limited, good, rewarding head-to-head modes. Right now, there are, you have Gauntlet, which is only on the weekend, and it's a very top-heavy, right? Only the best of the best, really, it's worth it. They also took away the unique player you got, which took away like 500k to 1 million coins from the 9 to 10 reward, so that sucks. Head-to-head seasons is better this year. I'll give them credit. They made the coin rewards better. The packs, you get more natty packs, the highest of levels. And again, you can win 7 games, get 4 natty packs at the highest tier, which is really, really good. The problem is, that's really the only thing there is to do in online head-to-head that is worth it for your time, so it becomes a bit repetitive. The events and house rules they've released so far for online just aren't good, right? Extra credit is just a worse version of head-to-head, right? Overtime is like the house rules, and I guess this isn't bad if you're not that good at the game, right? 2 wins get you 7,000 coins. That's not the worst, but they also had a standout event where if you got 40 total wins cumulative, not in a row, you got an 85 standout BND player and then like a few other 80 and 83 plus BND players. It's just not worth your time. The only mode really worth playing is head-to-head, and that, of course, is going to get progressively worse as natty packs become less valuable over time. It feels like we're missing that special third mode that gives you really, really good rewards, but is in a shorter form than Seasons or Gauntlet that's more refreshing, that updates every other week. For example, we had an Ultimate Dynasty head-to-head event last year over the summer where it was pretty much just a regular head-to-head season. If you won like 5 games in a row, you got a random BND champion. And of course, yes, BND is an ugly word, but if it's tied next to a champion level card, it's fine because you're going to use that card in your team. So I feel like we're just limited. It just feels a bit repetitive. It feels like we've been playing head-to-head seasons and only head-to-head seasons for the last month of the game. And then you play Gauntlet right over the weekend if you're a good player. If you're not, you probably don't. So I feel like they're missing that in-between mode that, I mean, it would be a house rules event that gives actual good rewards, not these 80 plus and 83 BND plus packs. So it'd be the amount of head-to-head modes we've got right now that are actually worthwhile playing. And the last weakness and point I'm going to make for Cut 26, and this really ties in the whole BND saga that people don't like in this mode, is sets. I don't want to be disrespectful, but whoever thought these token champion sets were going to excite the community and want them to get on the game, you've missed the plot. I can't tell you how not excited or like unengaging this content. I could care less about sets. And I think Cut did a good thing last year with the super champions, and they do it still for the alumni, right? Collect all the champions from season 1, you get a super champion. Now the problem is Warren Moon's already outdated for the most part, and he's not even the best QB when he comes out in like 2 weeks. But I would love to see them do that style of content for every single champion drop, right? Fresh Faces Week 3 champ set. Collect all the champions and get like an 87 or 88 overall super champion, and you get all the cards back as BND, or you get a few back sellable, few back as BND, right? It would be worthwhile if the full super champion is sellable, right? Stuff like that where it actually gives you a reason to want to collect these cards. No one wants these tokens. I get it. You put coins behind them, right? You collect all of the, if I go find the Mainstays collection token pack, right? If you do all the sets over the course of 4 weeks for Mainstays, yeah, you get 300,000 coins. But for the most part, doing those sets, it's going to cost you a little bit if you want to get that last card or two to complete the set, right? The tax of selling the cards back is going to pretty much like eliminate all that potential profit you would get from collecting all the it's just not, it's not exciting. It's not what sets are. You have so much potential for like collect all the base cards for every, not for every team, but like individual, like think Team Diamond sets for a team, right? Collect all the base cards for UCLA and get a special, right, 87 overall UCLA champion, right? They can do that for every single team in the entire game. But they just like, it just seems like they don't want sets to really be a part of the mode, and it's been a staple in Ultimate Team modes for years, and there's so much potential for sets and collections, and they just don't, they don't, I don't know, they just don't get the point of them. And these token sets, it'd be one thing too if you could put the BNDs in these sets, it would be a little bit better, but you can't. I've been screaming it from, you know, the rooftops, it feels like, for years. Allow BNDs to be put in sets because it enhances everything. It makes the offline rewards better, right? When you get BNDs for every single reward, it makes that reward better. It makes the BND offers, I don't know why they offer. Now, one thing for boosters being BND are fine because they're so cheap, but offering really anything more than $20 and you get BND players, what are we doing, man? Either give them a 80% training quick sell or allow us to put them in sets, and you would be fine. But that's really, again, a summary of Cut 26 so far. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I have been enjoying myself on this mode despite what a lot of people, you know, maybe have had negative criticism to this mode. And it really just revolves around the training packs. It gives me, I find myself rolling, you know, a champion plus level training pack 3 to 4 times a day, and more than likely actually getting at least 1 LTD per day, which is, it's just cool. It's stuff to engage with it every single day, but I am a bit worried if those rerolls ever become bad, that this mode, it would become really, really yucky. And hopefully they can fix the offline rewards, you know, come out with a few more head-to-head modes that are refreshing each and every week that actually are worthwhile playing. But that's my Cut 26 review. Let me know down in the comments what your guys' thoughts on Cut 26 are so far, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.